As director of the Fire Academy, I'm in charge of fire training for the state of West Virginia. We answer to the State Fire Commission, who it and the legislature decide what training is required for you to be a firefighter in this state. They set the training, and then we teach the classes and certify the firefighters for that training. Now, we have the academy in Weston that's been there since 2007. I have been told, and from what I've read so far, we're the first state fire academy. We were, now not the academy we're in now, the one when it was in Morgantown. And we've been around in some form since 1913. We offer what's called Pro Board. Pro Board is a national organization that guarantees a certain level of training. So if you have, let's say, Firefighter 1 and it's Pro Board from Kentucky, and you come to West Virginia, you don't have to take Firefighter 1 again, because they know because of your Pro Board that you have met the national standard. So providing that allows us to people from to go out of state and still be able to be firemen, and people to come to this state that have had previous training and be firemen. We do a lot of training with mobile props so we can go to the fire departments, because obviously West Virginia is really rural and really small fire departments, and they obviously can't afford to take all their firemen and come to the academy, so it's better if we can take that programming to them and do it right there when they can have all the fire departments from their county or multiple counties come and train together. We have what's called the mobile fire trainers. We have 2 of those. They can mimic a house fire. They can even mimic a 2-story house fire, fueled by propane and non-toxic smoke. That way, if somebody has a problem, especially new firefighters sometimes, whether it's a problem with the regulator or they panic or whatever, the instructors that are inside can hit a button and everything ceases and the smoke evacuates immediately within 30 seconds, I think it is. So it's a clean burn, and we don't have to worry about their gear being contaminated after they come out. The ARFF, which is our aircraft rescue firefighting simulator, which is basically a plane with 1 wing that says West Virginia University on it. We are able to simulate cockpit fire, cabin fire, wing fire, landing gear fire, and our guy that's in charge of that, Ralph McNeamer, is a 25-year veteran of the Air Force firefighting. Him and another guy together, they've got about 60 years, I think, experience. So they've got a lot of training on all types of aircraft, not just that one. But every commercial airport in West Virginia is required to have at least a refresher training every year. There are actually 7 airports in West Virginia that are considered commercial. And then we get contracted to go out of state sometimes. Penn State, the airport there in Happy Valley, Kentucky, some of the military bases. We do industrial firefighting training. A lot of the oil and gas manufacturers, some of the industrial companies on the Ohio River, up along the river there, we do a lot of their training. We do for them, we do industrial firefighting, but we also do confined space rescue, which they need those big industrial plants. And we also do military training. Military training, we've gone as far as Hawaii to train for hazardous materials, and they've been to outside of Seattle, Arizona, Texas, you name it. We've been to a military base. It's very important for us to have those contacts and that impact outside the state. We actually had just started last fall a program in Mineral County at their Career and Tech, where they're going to teach them Firefighter 1 and 2. We have an instructor that's going to teach high school kids Firefighter 1 and 2. We've talked about it in some other counties, but it hasn't happened yet. But I'm hoping that we're going to see more opportunities to do that in the future. The other firefighter training we do, obviously we train mainly volunteers, because West Virginia is about I think it's 92% of the firefighters in this state are volunteers. If you have a fire or you're in a car wreck, whether it's rural West Virginia or rural Kansas or wherever, it's probably going to be a volunteer fire department show up. There's a lack of volunteering overall. So It seems we're having a hard time recruiting and retaining younger people to do this. My predecessor, Murray Laughlin, and the State Fire Commission and the State Fire Marshal at the time, Sterling Lewis, came up with the idea for Junior Firefighter Camp, the Junior Fire Camp, as a way to try to get young people interested in being firefighters and to go back to their communities and be able to help. The first one was in 2007, and except for 2 years at COVID, 2020 and 2021, we've had it every year down in Weston at the State Fire Academy, 5 nights, 6 days. They stay over at Jackson's Mill, the 4-H camp, in the cabins. And then every day they're over at the Fire Academy. We put them through every facet of fire and rescue training we can, or at least expose them to as much as we can. If they absolutely say no, then we don't make them. We don't make them go in the smoke if they don't, or the fire, or whatever they don't want to do. And we tell them that up front. We like them to push their comfort zone, but we don't make them do anything they don't want to do. We're able to get them first aid CPR certifications, but it also gives them a taste to see whether that's something they want to do as a volunteer or something they want to make a career out of. We've got a number of firemen that have went on to be professional firefighters here in West Virginia and other places. All of our instructors, nobody's paid. We've got instructors from about 4 or 5 states that come. All of these people are experts. A lot of them have been in the fire service for years. Some of them are subject matter experts in auto extrication or hazardous materials or just firefighting or ladder trucks or whatever. All the kids are broken into groups, units, ladder company, truck company. They're groups of 5 or 6 kids. Each day a different kid's in charge of the group. So everybody gets a leadership experience. They're accountable for all of their people. Everybody has a buddy. You don't go anywhere alone. They do what's called a par count, and when they do that, we want to know where every kid is. If somebody's missing, that the leader of the day better know where that kid is. So they learn about responsibility and accountability, and the instructors hold them to that. Now, it's not like basic training in the military or anything. They're not screaming at them, They work with them, teach them, learn. Most of the instructors are like me and would have gave anything when they were that age to have had that kind of camp to go to. 3/4 of the kids that come are on a fire department or have some affiliation. Their parent is or something. But there's another quarter that come because it looks interesting. They want to see if it's what they want to do. Not only do we have students coming back, but we get kids from all over the U.S. We've had them from Arizona, Texas, Louisiana, Puerto Rico, New Jersey, Brooklyn, New York, Rhode Island, and everywhere in between. First year I was there, we had a young lady who was in her 3rd year. She came back her 3rd and her 4th year. She was from Colorado. About 1/4 of the campers every year are female, and we've got female instructors. We've got career female firefighters. So these young ladies are able to see that if that's something they're really interested in, they want to make a career of it, it's possible. I think the young lady from Colorado is either going to or is in med school. One night we bring in fire, police, EMS, the Health Net helicopter comes in. They can see different groups that they could make careers out of. The guys that come before me as directors, I'm just standing on their shoulders and just trying to keep it to that level and make it better than what it was and keep that fire academy being nationally known. The first statewide fire school we had was in 1931, so that's more of our 100 year we're looking forward to. But I hope we're around doing good things 100 years from now.